Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to the MicroProfile Live Hangout, the first iteration of 2026. And a link to the did anyone post a link to the meeting minutes in the chat? Can someone do that? And
Yeah,
somebody's going to post
did.
a link to the meeting minutes in the chat. Please click on the link, add your name to the list, and it's everyone's shared responsibility to take notes. This meeting's being recorded and will find its way to YouTube. Okay. So, welcome back, everybody. We had a long microprofile meeting break. We've been off for probably about 3 weeks ourselves, from a microprofile perspective. So we're back. I've got some various things. No hardcore. I didn't want to overwhelm everybody first week back from a long break, but some topics to cover. Well, Emily, if you want to talk about the charter, as I talk about the financial plan ballot, a little bit around the marketing spend, and our need to kind of move forward with updating specs or new specs or whatever. So, generally speaking, that's what I've got on the list. So first of all, the financial plan ballot passed on the last day, and our let's see, what do we have now? We have 9 members and 5 voted. We do have we 5 voted plus 1. So the financial plan did pass. So just a heads up on that. Part of one of the emails, I'm going to move down to kind of the second bullet where we talked about the budget. We have to spend. We kind of got a reprieve to spend the money in Q1, last year's money in Q1. So we have to do that. We're going to create. Sorry, I haven't. Again, I kind of jumped onto PTO, but we have to create 2 tickets. For the T-shirt and hoodies. Emily, you were going to create a socks ticket. Amelia was going to create a mug ticket. I haven't actually checked on those yet, but we do have to spend the remaining $6,500. Let me put a dollar sign here. And then we have to spend on top of that this year's budget this year. So the remaining 3 quarters. As always, it's nice for us to talk about getting ahead of it, and we never seem to do it for whatever reason. So let's see this year if we can get ahead of our spend. Um, let's see here. Yeah, the marketing. I joined the marketing call yesterday. That was in the calendar, but nobody joined. It was just me, so I dropped. So during the next marketing call, we're going to have to kind of attack the swag. Okay. So just a heads up on that. Any comments on that? Okay. Emily, did you want to talk about the charter update?
Yeah, so in 2026, we need to the currency change should happen from dollar to euro. We have been in a similar situation in the past 2 years regarding we have a remaining budget and then we wouldn't be able to find a good cause to spend the money for, which is a good problem to have. Instead of finding reason to create arbitrary socks or marks and etc., I'm proposing maybe in the 2026 plan, and maybe we reduce the fees slightly, and then to cover the essential spending and have some additional financial leftover for the marketing to be used. So I created the draft proposal. If you go scroll down a little bit, draft proposal. So with think is yeah. So that's this is a draft proposal for the annual fee for the different working group members in terms of revenue. So this is my proposal. Obviously, we also need to run past Eclipse Foundation to see whether it's acceptable. Before we bring forward to Eclipse Foundation, I'm wondering what other people think regarding these fee drops.
So does that fee drop? How much of that is just exchange rate? Is it
I
like
think
10% of that? Or
uh,
sorry,
so the exchange rate at the moment, I think is slightly lower than the exchange rate. So it's
right. Okay.
$1. Yeah, slightly lower, but not too much about it. We'll try to work out.
Yeah, I think it's basically I think it might be a 10% difference. So I think it would be like somewhere around 9,000 euro if it were just exchange rate. So
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean just going from memory. Jan?
Yeah, we had similar discussions in the Adoptium working group recently, and there were some restrictions for strategic members category minimum fee. I need to check that. There's some Eclipse Foundation restriction what might be the minimum for the highest category. And that was $10,000 in the past, and maybe it could be 10,000 euros now. And the compromise we found for the exchange rate conversion was to use a mean of the exchange rate during the last year. Unfortunately, that requirement comes late and creates discussions, because if we had done that a year ago, then the exchange rate were quite equal, leveled out. So the numbers can just convert the currency. Now there's a difference in exchange rate, and that will become worse probably. So yeah, finding a solution that makes everybody happy is not quite easy, that exchange rate change. And the other thing, as far as I remember, we are planning for a debt in this year with the budget. So lowering the fees might create an issue with the Eclipse Foundation on that aspect too, because we would even increase the deficit with two less members paying fees.
So I think one of the questions I gave Sharon a heads up on that this question was coming. It didn't happen during the steering committee call. I thought it might. Is you got the exchange rate, and then on top of that, if we reduced our fees but took the reductions out of our marketing budget, which is discretionary, right? Because we have a hard time spending it every year anyway. The two primary items that the budget goes to is swag, and maybe a conference booth, right? But that means we have to have microprofilers attending that conference as well. So that's a question I plan on asking Sharon again, saying, okay, here's, last year, heads up, this question will be coming. This year, ask the question, right? If we reduced it down to, 8,000 euro, can we take the difference out of the discretionary budget? So,
Yeah. So the other thing is also is what was well to find out what's the minimum cost from an Eclipse Foundation point of view. They have offer common services. What's the minimum cost that they have to return? And then we will find out and how much flexibility do we have? In terms of the conversion, 10,000 euro, no, dollar equivalent to 8.5K euro.
0.5, okay.
Yeah, so I dropped the remaining digits and rounded basically is left 80.
Yeah, so on the minimum topic, I remember us asking at some point in the past, and I don't remember the exact time, but probably somewhere around, I don't know, 2022-ish, give or take a year. We asked about reducing our fees even further, and they said if I recall correctly, that we've kind of already hit bottom at 10K. Right. I think if we asked them the minimum question, I don't know if that's a question that they would answer
I
directly.
think, yeah,
But
maybe instead of doing that, we can run through this proposal again, pass to them to see what do you think for this proposal, and is that enough to cover Eclipse Foundation cost? And then we can work from there.
by the way,
I
can you
think
guys still see my window? I apologize for
I
interrupting.
can see the
It's still
issue,
sharing?
Git issue. You are sharing the update
Okay.
MicroProfile tutorial to 7.1.
Okay. Because I was,
Yeah,
with Zoom, I'm sharing a window, but I switched to another browser so I could check on something while we talk, and I wasn't sure if it would still share the window if I had something to cover it. So, all right.
yeah.
Sorry, but for interrupting. Go ahead.
So what I'm suggesting, how about just share this revised chat update with against Sharon to Sharon to see what she thinks. If you
Okay.
go up a little bit, John, if you go up a little bit, so for the financial plan 2025, if you can scroll up.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to find the window. Hold on. Like I said, I covered the window. Okay, go up.
Yeah, here. Yeah, stop. So the expenses, so for that expenses, so like a legal discrim, the event survey events. I think from Eclipse Foundation point of view, legal and the governance, right? And general and administration. So they took this 43K dollars.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is for what the event support is that event support is for them they return the money or we do
I think
event
it's
support.
OCX primarily, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
okay. So that means we need to pay the legal
Yep.
event support, governance, and general and administration.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the shared services, which is 66.5, subtract our discretionary, which is the only thing that's discretionary, which is 11,000, you're at 55.5, right? So that's how much adjustment that we could make. Oh, and I apologize. We also spend money on the white paper, so I forgot to bring that up before.
Yeah. So marketing. Yeah, for marketing. So for us is 21K. nearly 20 basically in 2025 21K for us, right? 21K
For what?
for the marketing and the
No,
swaps.
discretionary is no, 10K is what we paid, is what our budget was in 2025.
What about marketing services? Is them?
No, that's not us. That's their money.
Oh, so that means we only have a 10K to
That's
spare.
correct.
Oh, I see.
So
Not
marketing services, I
much.
think, is when we share, it's like if we share booze at Java One and Dev Nexus and stuff like that. Um, I think it's that kind of stuff. Um, I don't think it. I don't know if that covers like the overall Eclipse marketing Eclipse itself, right? Um, that's a good question. But yeah, our discretionary is only 10K. That's what we can spend our money on things that we want to spend on. The marketing
Oh, only
services
right.
is mostly them, um, but I don't recall. Amelia probably knows, but she's not on the call.
Okay. So last year is 10.5K. No, no, last year. Yeah, 2025 is 10K. 2026 also 10K? You
Yeah,
have
No,
actually,
no.
that's what I was looking for.
okay.
As I remember, we had a debt of 14,000 or 4,000. Yeah.
Oh, it says $0.
Huh?
Yeah, because we are in the debt of
Oh yeah, because we haven't spent the money we got. I'm trying to remember.
Is that
you know,
right?
we
So
lost two
2026.
members that are paying fees, and therefore we don't have anything that we could spend on our budget fast.
Yeah,
So does that
I'm
mean
What
in
actually.
when you
2026 we don't have anything?
yeah,
That's correct.
So
what
in
will be
this case,
interesting if you ask Sharon regarding the membership fees conversion. Um, it would be interesting to know how these fixed budget positions are converted too, because that is affecting us too.
Yeah, I mean Jakarta's in the same boat, right? So, let's see, who's already gone ahead? Who's already moved over to Euro that we
uh,
can?
I think the OSGI.
Okay, OSGI, has ASCII Doc moved over?
I think that's a very small fee for them.
Well,
OSGI.
but so it's a similar problem that we have then, right? But either way, it's
Uh, yeah. I think it depends also that's a very small group as well, not many people. So
so the point I was making earlier about reducing our fees and take it out of discretionary, well, I guess that doesn't fly.
me too. I didn't realize we don't have any budget
Yeah,
for
and for
2026.
2026, for 2026, I'm actually okay with that, to be honest, because we got money to spend that we haven't spent yet.
Yeah.
Um, and I just know we bump into it. But for 2027,
Mm.
that's going to be an interesting question mark. Are we going to be? Their answer is either going to be raise your fees or get more members,
Yeah.
right? Or we could push back and say, we'd like to reduce some of these other things, right?
Or alternatively, so the for the swags, so the members, if any members want to get swags, so they can use their own marketing fee, their marketing budget from their own company to order the swags.
Yeah,
However, it's
that's tough.
difficult for the white paper or the tutorials. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, that's where we got to think throughout this year. We got to think about what we want for 2027,
Mm.
right? We haven't talked about it yet, but I'd like to get to a release in 2027, um, which would be incremental. Well, it depends if we have a new spec or not, but but still, it's an incremental update to the tutorial. So, um, that wouldn't be a lot of money. What
Mm-hmm.
about swag? I don't know. We might be swagged out unless it's like really like we could probably buy enough swag this year to hold us over for this year and next year, right? If that swag includes a lot of things like stickers, right? The low cost items, we could spread that out um, a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jan, did you have anything else? Okay, you took your hand down. Okay. Um, all right. So I'm gonna move on to the next subject. Um, yeah, I expect this budget topic to come up again throughout the year to figure out what to do for 2027. All right. The host microprofile in Jakarta. So we did bring up at the steering committee meeting that um, because of the namespace ballot in the Jakarta spec committee, if microprofile specs move over, they would vote to change the namespace. Therefore, Emily and I and IBM as a whole is just going to drop from leading this effort. We are no longer interested in moving MicroProfile into Jakarta. But if somebody else wants to lead the effort, they can do that. But also, if things move over, if we have someone else leads it and we have a ballot that passes, IBM's not going to do any of the work on it. Someone else is going to have to take that. So, Jan, I think you had kind of raised your hand during the steering committee call, saying, "Okay, I'll lead the effort, or at least continue the effort in some way." So, do you want to comment?
Yes, I see there's still a majority that would like to merge the working groups, and even if there's a majority that especially at the Jakarta working group that want to change the namespace there, there's an
So when you say
opportunity.
majority, what context? Who's majority?
I think when you look at the comments of the Jakarta steering, no, not the steering, the spec committee, when they voted on the IBM's approach, that most of them like to have MicroProfile merge into Jakarta, would then like to change the namespace then too. And therefore, I see an opportunity to merge the working groups or especially MicroProfile into Jakarta. And that might come with a namespace change then, which could make sense. But yeah, if there is a majority for merging the complete content, that is one way. What is requested from the Jakarta side is that MicroProfile config is merged into the Jakarta core profile as Jakarta config. And that is required for the plan to include Jakarta NoSQL into Jakarta EE12. And therefore, that's the minimal solution to at least merge that single spec into the Jakarta core profile. These are the two ways I see we could make progress on that. And
So you say JNoSQL would like to use config, and sorry, NoSQL would be included in one of the profiles?
NoSQL, I think it's the web profile when I remember correctly. But yeah, they don't want to use XML configuration. They want to use something we have already with MicroProfile config. And I think at the moment it's not part of any profile. It's a
Right.
standalone specification, and it depends on MicroProfile config, as far as I remember.
I mean, the way I look at it is, and I've brought this up before, config isn't everything. So if you change config, if you move just config over, then it breaks every app, right? Every single app would be broken. So to me, that's a non-starter.
Yeah,
And you know,
yeah, it depends how to do it. There is a way to do it without a breaking change. So having spec version converted to Jakarta config, which then uses the Jakarta namespace, but also having based on top of that MicroProfile config, a remaining part that is supporting the original namespace. So then it wouldn't be a breaking change. Roberto mentioned some concerns that this may come with a performance drop. And that might be a way to have the impact on MicroProfile reduced if that single spec is moved only.
So Yan, are you proposing? I'm not sure I understand what you're going to do. Are you proposing to lead the effort moving MicroProfile to Jakarta EE, or you would like to start a conversation moving MicroProfile config to Jakarta? Which one?
My preferred one would be a complete merge because then the impact on the users is minimized. If that is not possible, then the minimum solution would be, to move MicroProfile config into the core profile as Jakarta config.
I think whatever the action is, I think we need to get a consensus within MicroProfile first, because this is MicroProfile's specification. So the community, MicroProfile community, need to agree first for this
Sure.
move. Yeah.
I fully agree. So we need to discuss it here first.
Yeah.
What would be a good way, a possible way? And of course, this is not only about the spec or the technical assets, what we discussed in the past too. If we merged the complete working group into Jakarta, then we might take some of the organizational aspects like open meetings and things like that into Jakarta too. That's the organizational aspect that comes besides the technical aspects.
yeah, well, I'm kind of, leading these discussions is in your hands. So, move forward however you'd like to proceed in terms of those conversations.
That's a question, or
No, it's a statement. It's a statement is, you'd like to move it forward. So, go ahead and lead those discussions with whoever in MicroProfile and whoever in Jakarta.
Yeah, what I plan to do is when there's time to do a current dependency analysis, document some of these variants in more detail, and what might be a way for a transition of the single spec or all the specs. And then, we can discuss it in the technical meeting first and then later here. That would be my idea.
Okay. Okay. Any comments about this? All right. I think that might be all I have in general. One of the things I want to talk about, Emily, during the technical call next week is any plans for updating specs or new spec proposals. I'd like to kind of get that going, if possible.
Yeah,
So I think that would be good.
yes. I think because we did a release MicroProfile 701 last year, we should do another release in the 2026. One candidate will be the MicroProfile telemetry. I think OpenAPI has done some work. GWT also did some work. I think Sergey was very keen to get it in the 701, but it ran out of time. I think
Mhm.
at least three candidates. Also, the other thing is the config. We have put all the MicroProfiles back to the back burner for the discussion and merging these working groups. Now is, I think we should rethink to see. I know there's some conversations about the functionalities and also the feature requests and etc. We can discuss more in more details in the next call. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going down the list. Um, all right, marketing. I've asked Tarun to update the marketing ticket. I think this might be it. Is this? Oh, I already had it here anyway. Yeah, I got two open. To go ahead and update the ticket. Uh-oh, no, this isn't the one I was. That's not it. How do they do that? Okay, let me go
It's in
back.
the marketing.
Boom, boom. There it is.
Yeah.
I just asked him to provide a link to the repo and an update in the ticket. So, and then we can review as the content is delivered, like we did last year. All right. I think that's all I've got for today.
Since Emerson is here, so for the swags, so marks and etc., do we need Emerson to help with this marks and socks and etc.?
Emerson, did you want to volunteer for any of the marketing swag stuff?
Yeah, I can help with that. I think we have a contact point with the provider, and depending on what we want, we can get a budget.
Do we
But
have
what
to go through the Eclipse Foundation for that, though?
I think they are connected is one of the approval vendors,
Mm-hmm.
so they can provide the numbers to us. It's what we did previously. So for the three tickets, I can follow up in the tickets and figure out who is the right person to ask. And I guess depending on the numbers, we can calculate the number of items we want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is the available budget right now? 10,000?
No, well, 6,500. We used 3,500 for the tutorial update.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still quite a lot.
Yeah.
Also for the DevNexus, I'm going to DevNexus in March this year. If possible, we could get the swags, for example, socks or something printed and then shipped to DevNexus. We could give them out. That would be great.
Okay.
So, do we have a shared booth there this year?
I don't think so.
Don't think so. No.
So it'd be
Yeah, I
just
don't
at
think.
sessions then.
Yeah.
But we might have a shared booth or Eclipse Foundation booth for the Java topics on Javaland again.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
need
was
to check.
wondering. Oh,
And that would be end of March. There we could have some swag to distribute too.
Yeah, and also anyway, Demonex is I'll be there, and then we can give away at IBM booth. Could stock something there. We can find somewhere. I think also maybe there's an open source community area. I will if we have some smart swags, we'll see. Maybe I think we can find a way to distribute the swags.
okay. Let's see if we can cover that. We're gonna have to cover this in more detail at the next marketing call. We're gonna have to create the tickets sooner though,
Yeah.
because we're gonna have to go through designs of whatever we decide to go with, and that's gonna take a little bit of time.
Oh yeah, and also OCX and also JCon as well. So that's all OCX JCon all in April, actually same
Right.
week.
Wow. Busy week.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, I think we are good. Anything else anyone wants to bring up?
Hey guys, yeah, on the side of Payara, I want to give you some news. On our side, basically, yeah, the la latest year, the last, on the la latest 2 weeks of the year, yeah, we were acquired by Azul Systems. So basically now we are Azul Payara. And the
Hmm.
plan is to continue with the goals for the year. And on my side, basically, I will start with the upgrade of MicroProfile 7.1 because right now we are just compatible with MicroProfile 6.1. So yeah, I will work on that upgrade. And also, I have one question. I remember that I started to see on the infrastructure parts of the microprofile environment on the test. I did some changes, yeah, on the unit test, but I don't know if those are now needed. So because I made some commits, but right now I don't know if we need to advance on that side on the infrastructure. If you move to the infrastructure part, you will see that I worked on some commits, but I am not sure if we still need to do that because I will have more time because I will work on the microprofile now. So yeah, that one, microprofile starter.
Oh, the
Okay.
MicroProfile starter. If you would like to pick it up, that would be great. So
Yeah.
Alfonso,
I
yeah,
think that's one thing I want to provide
yeah.
this year to advance on that, and also I will upgrade the Payara implementation. So yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. Great. Thank you. Great news. Oh, by the way, I hold my curiosity. With the merge, will you still label it as Payara, or you will all change to Azul? What about the logo? Do you in MicroProfile.io, do you want Azul's logo displayed?
No. Basically, we are going to combine. Yeah, right now we are working on the marketing side to combine Azul and Payara. So basically, the we Azul want to maintain Payara name, so we will be the same, but now including Azul on the name. I think. Yeah.
Okay, so you will continue to use the Piara logo on
Yes. Yes.
MicroProfile and Gcloud. Okay.
Yes.
So in terms of the fees and etc., nothing will change. It won't use the Azul's revenue. It still use the Piara's revenue, right?
No, it's if you're not a subsidiary, if you're actually been acquired into, which I think is the case, then that might change. That's yeah. Does that
Yeah,
change? Yeah, your working group fee.
I'm not sure about those things, but we will see because we are working right now on the merge, yeah, between the teams and on the legal also, I don't know,
Hmm.
legal
Oh, right,
aspects.
right,
So
right.
yeah, we will check.
And then you're gonna have to, so you're gonna have to change your email address potentially as well, right? With the official Eclipse Foundation email address, I had to do that. I'm gonna feel your pain because I just went through a lot of this
Yeah.
stuff in July. So of those kind of administrative type things change. So yeah, if anything pops up that affects MicroProfile in terms of marketing, just open up a ticket in the marketing repo, get issue, and we could work on updating whatever we need to update.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
So congratulations or condolences, depending on how you feel about it.
Yeah.
No, it's big news, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah. It
I
is
guess from my
great.
side, congrats. So all right. All right. Thanks for the update. And I will hopefully see most of the people here on the technical call.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Good
Okay,
guys.
bye
night.
bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo no sé ni Michael cuánto